So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The purpose behind this lecture series is very simple. We want you to revise your current affairs. And what better way to revise your current affairs than by getting the much needed MCQ practice? Because MCQ practice is absolutely critical if you are really serious about cracking your prelims examination. Prelims examination requires a lot of MCQ practice. And through this lecture series, we are going to cover your MCQ practice for the topic of current affairs. Because current affairs form the most important portion of prelims examination. Almost 40 to 50% of the MCQs in the exam are directly or indirectly related to current affairs. Therefore, you cannot ignore this lecture series because through this lecture series, you'll be practicing 4 to 5 MCQs on a daily basis, and these 4 to 5 MCQs would add up to more than 1200 MCQs from the topic of current affairs alone. 1200 MCQs from current affairs alone. I'm not talking about other static subjects like polity, geography, history. No, 1200 MCQs just from current affairs. So as far as your current affairs portion is concerned, you don't have to worry about it at all for your prelims examination. But provided you have followed this lecture series on a daily basis, you've made it a part of your daily routine. All right. So in the hope that you do that, let's begin today's discussion starting with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding appointment of election commissioners in India. As per Article 324, Clause 2 of the Constitution, election commissioners shall be appointed by President on the recommendation of a selection committee. The selection committee shall consist of Prime Minister, Cabinet Minister, Leader of Opposition, and Chief Justice of India. The tenure of election commissioners is 5 years or up to the age of 65 years. Okay. Now look, as far as our constitution is concerned, Article 324, Clause 2 of our constitution is concerned, the constitution is very clear. They say that the election commissioners, including the chief election commissioner, shall be appointed by the president. That's it. Okay. Now it will be completely up to the president and by extension, completely up to the central government, because president functions on the aid and advise of central government, right? Council of Ministers. So it will be completely up to the central government to appoint whichever election commissioner it wants to appoint. Okay. Now that is what is written in the constitution. But the constitution also mentions that until parliament makes a law on this issue, the writ of the president shall reign supreme. So president has full choice, and by president I mean central government has full choice over the appointment of election commissioners until and unless parliament makes a law regulating the process of their selection. Okay, so till 2023, the process of appointing election commissioners was completely up to the president. But in 2023, parliament passed a law, and as per that law, election commissioner shall be appointed by a process. Okay, that process involves first a search committee headed by law minister would prepare a list of 5 candidates. Okay, and from this list of 5 candidates, election commissioners would be chosen. Okay, now who would choose election commissioners from this list of 5 candidates? The selection committee. Okay, now this process is given in the law made by parliament, not in the constitution. The constitution says parliament shall have the power to make a law on it, but until that time, president shall appoint election commissioners. So this issue or the recommendation of selection committee was not mentioned in Article 324. It was mentioned in the law made by parliament in 2023. So this is false. Now, who are the members of this selection committee? Well, prime minister, a cabinet minister nominated by the prime minister, okay, leader of opposition of the Lok Sabha. Okay, that's it. These are the 3 members. Chief Justice of India is not part of this selection committee, so this is also false. Now, once appointed, what is the tenure of election commissioners? So tenure of election commissioners is 6 years, or they until they reach the age of 65 years. Okay, whichever is earlier. So their full tenure is 6 years or until they reach the age of 65 years. So it's not 5, it's 6. This is also incorrect. All statements are incorrect. The answer is D. Question 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding index of industrial production? Compiled and published monthly by Office of Economic Advisor, Ministry of Commerce. It is an indicator that measures the changes in the volume of production of industrial products. Among the different industry groups, manufacturing sector has the highest weightage in IIP. Okay, so look, index of industrial production is an indicator that measures the changes in the volume of production. So it basically measures the output of factories in India. Okay, factory output in India. Clear? So this part is correct. Now it is compiled and published on a monthly basis. This is also correct. But it is done by NSO, compiled and published on a monthly basis by NSO, which is under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It is not done by Office of Economic Advisors. So this is false. Okay. Now the different industry groups which are surveyed under IIP are categorized into three parts. Okay. Manufacturing industry, mining industry, electricity. Okay. The highest weightage in this index is given to manufacturing, then it is given to electricity, and then the least weightage is given to mining. Okay, so among the different industry groups, manufacturing sector has the highest weightage. Absolutely correct. 2 and 3, C. Okay, which of the following statements are not correct? Remember this, not correct. This is very important. It's very important to read the question, because sometimes we ignore the word not and answer the question incorrectly. So which of the following statements are not correct regarding Santa Ana winds? These are hot, dry winds that blow from October to January and are associated with forest wildfires. These winds originate from the Patagonia Desert in Argentina. The winds blow because of the pressure difference on either side of the Andes mountain range. Okay, so look, what are Santa Ana winds? So basically, if this is the rough map of USA, okay, this is the state of California. Here is a mountain range called the Sierra Nevada mountain range, and here is a mountain range called the Rockies mountain. Okay, this region, the region between Rockies mountain and Sierra Nevada, is known as the Great Basin. Okay, and beyond Sierra Nevada range is the coastal area, somewhat coastal area and the state of California. And what happens is that during the months of October to January, a high pressure develops in the Great Basin region. Okay, and low pressure develops on the coastal region of California. Now, because of this pressure difference, winds start to blow from high pressure to low pressure. But in between, there is this big mountain range. So winds actually climb up the mountain and descend downwards. So they cross the mountain range. As they descend downwards, they become, because of high atmospheric pressure, they become hot and dry. And these hot and dry winds sometimes ignite forest wildfires. Okay, so these winds originate in the Great Basin region of USA, not Patagonia Desert of Argentina. So this is false. Okay, the winds blow because of the pressure difference, absolutely correct, on the either side of Andes mountain range. No, Sierra Nevada range. So this is also false, because Andes mountain is in South America. We are talking about USA over here. Now, these winds generally blow from October to January. So these are hot and dry winds, absolutely correct. They blow from October to January, absolutely correct. And they are associated with forest wildfires, absolutely correct. Statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 and 3 are incorrect. And what is asked in the question? Which of the following statements are not correct? So 2 and 3 are not correct. The answer is B. And last, consider the following statements regarding Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act 1994. It's a very easy question though. This law bans and criminalizes prenatal sex determination. Prenatal sex determination is one of the leading causes of female feticide in India. Okay, so what do we mean by the term prenatal? Prenatal means when the child is still in their mother's womb. Okay, the child has not been born yet. Okay, now In India, as we all know, there is a preference for over sons over daughters, right? And it's especially severe in some states. Okay, so people prefer son over daughters, or the older social norms were that sons are better than daughters. Daughters were considered burden, and that's a social evil, by the way, and sons were considered as an asset. Now that was a social evil, and the governments have been trying to fight this social evil. Now what used to happen was that a couple, a woman that was pregnant, the couple used to go to the doctor and used to find out the sex of their child. If it was found that a daughter is going to get born, or daughter is going to be born in some time, they used to abort that child. And if it was a son, well, they would continue with the pregnancy. Now, this led to decline in sex ratio at birth in India. Okay, because people were able to find out the sex of their unborn child, and they used to abort it if it was female. Okay, so because of this, the government decided to pass a law which was known as PCPNDT Act. This law bans and criminalizes prenatal sex determination. So it is illegal for the couple to find out the sex of their child. It is illegal for even the doctors. Doctors can go to jail for this if they tell the sex of the child of a couple to them. Okay, so this part is correct. And prenatal sex determination is one of the leading causes of female feticide in India. Absolutely correct. And hence this law was passed. So this is also correct. Both are correct. The answer is C. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And please make sure that you revise this lecture also. And by revision, I mean going through the written detailed explanation given about each and every MCQ discussed in this lecture. Okay. Now you can find these explanations in our notes. These notes are available on our Telegram channel. Okay. The link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below this video. You just have to click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there you can download the notes for this lecture. All right. So on that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.